Everyone, welcome to another advising adventure. So happy to have you. Of course, Nathan Stout, he's with us. Hey, Nathan, how you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Bill. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. Getting ready for our 4th of July holiday, so life is good.
Absolutely.
Hey, we got two wonderful, awesome people with us today, Academic Support Center, and they're in a castle over there. Look at that castle that they're sitting in. What an awesome thing. And Nicole and Lenny, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves and tell us anything about yourselves that you want to say, and then tell us a little bit about your new facility, your makeover there that you got going on.
Awesome, Bill. Thank you. So, hi, everybody. I'm Nicole Mena, and I'm the director here of the Academic Support Center at the New Bern campus. Fun fact about me is I came back to school many years after high school and career and decided to be a teacher. I started working at Craven as a tutor, and I never left.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lenny Romano. I'm the academic support specialist here at the Academic Support Center. And cool note, I guess, is I moved down here 3 years ago from Pennsylvania, so the weather is definitely a lot better. When people complain about being warm, I'm loving it. So, and it's been a real pleasure being here.
Hey, Craven Community College is lucky to have you both, and Nicole, we're glad you have never left and you're still with us, and till you retire in how many years from now. Lenny, we want you to stick around too, brother.
Thank
you guys
man.
Can go out together in the blaze of glory and a sunset on a horse or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, so tell us a little bit about ASC and about your new facility there, because it is beautiful.
It is, it's lovely. We are very much enjoying the space. The students that have visited us so far have loved it as well. We moved in here at the end of last year, so January, when spring semester started, we were kind of getting settled in. The space offers lots of places for students to sit and independently study. We have different study rooms. We have rooms that students can tutor in. And then the room that we are in is our classroom, where we can hold a little larger meetings, where study groups can reserve to come and meet. So our whole space is open for students to utilize, and we offer just different technology for them to use it in different ways. So, if the student is on campus and they just want to work on a computer for a while, but they don't have their charger, or they don't have a laptop, they can come in. We have laptops. They can use them in here, sit kind of in whatever space they want and get to work. We also have, like calculators, graphing calculators, technology like that. Our study groups really like it because we have the nice whiteboards. We have the Clear Touches, which have different apps on them that you can manipulate and use electronically, but a lot of times for sciences and math, they really like it.
And we also have the student help desk that's in our center. So if students are having trouble with their password or login or Moodle issues, we have people here that can be able to help them and assist them as well.
Yeah, that is awesome, because Nathan, can attest to this. A lot of times the things that slow students up or become obstacles for students is the technology. And it's so awesome to be able to tell them, hey, if you go over to the ASC Center, they can, help get you going again, help restart, reboot, whatever you need to do to get rolling. And that's just so helpful to have that component also built into where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we probably do a few times every semester is just making sure that students can get access to their ebooks, or if their class uses a different platform, so they're in Moodle, but they have to go to Cengage or they have to go to EdReady, just definitely making sure they know how to do that. They can get in there with no problems, and that if there is a problem, we just help them work through it and troubleshoot it.
Yeah, that's great, Nicole, because that's a huge challenge, with a lot of our students. There's so many different platforms in Moodle, so many different ebooks and stuff like that. And, you all taking the time to show them how to access that. That's great.
That and just Moodle can be so different class to class or by different instructors. Some of them, post everything in one spot. Some of them, they have the week and then they have a message or an announcement, and just, making sure students aren't missing important information and that they know where to find it is a big thing. And that's something we really like to take the time to do.
So, and we always like to know how to best refer students to you, but is it as simple as, we get students come in and say, hey, I'm struggling. Nicole, I know yesterday I got an email from a student that said, hey, I'm having trouble in English. I need help with a paper. Is it as simple as us just saying, hey, look, you guys, here's the point of contact. Here are the names, Nicole, Lenny, the number, the emails. If you're on campus, walk over. Is it that easy to access you guys?
It is that easy. The student that we had that email on yesterday, she came in within an hour. I mean, we got it. We know when a student needs help, they need help right now. Like we can't wait. They can't wait. There's due dates. Everybody has a schedule. So, I mean, we really, really try to provide whatever we can, at least get it started immediately. I mean, and so, yeah, a student needs to walk in, they can call you. I mean, and they don't even have to call themselves. You can call and be like, this student needs you to call them right now. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Send them our way somehow. Slip a note under the door, whatever needs to happen. We'll get it done.
And that's the best part of the success for the students is the collaboration we have with you and all the advisors and the faculty, all coming together for the student. So it's like a banker. A banker can't give you money, but he can help you get it. We can't give you an A, but we can definitely help you get it. So, and it takes all of us working together, and that's the great part of our college.
Another nice thing that I think most students aren't aware of now is that on our webpage, they can go directly to book their own appointment. They can book, a face-to-face or an online. And if they can't find something that works, then they just need to call us and we'll figure it out. So, we've even alleviated that. So any student that can get to our website can get to help fast.
And as far as the courses that students struggle in most, would you say it is the math and the science and the Englishes? Is that the primary courses? And beyond that, do your tutors provide support in some of the AAS programs that we have? I mean, are there any limitations as far as what kind of tutoring you can provide for course matter?
So definitely maths and sciences and Englishes are always, I guess, the most popular subjects, but I would say we do a lot of some of the business courses. Geology is a big one that we do a lot of these days. CIS, CIS 110, a lot of times students just need help navigating and just getting through that work and getting a flow. So if we get a request for a student who it's, a class that we don't have a tutor for, we're going to figure something out. We may do just okay, let's look at what we need, what kind of skills we need. We can help you navigate your resources and we can all kind of work together and do our best. We're very fortunate that we have adjunct instructors who serve as tutors here. And that we have really good connections with faculty. So if there is some kind of need that we can't fill with our existing staff, usually somebody can step in.
Nicole and Lenny, besides the tutoring aspect of it, do y'all work with like some soft skills with some of the students, like time management, things of that nature, organizational skills, things like that?
We're finding that out more and more. That is something that a lot of students need a little bit of assistance with. Test taking anxiety is another one. And we do provide that service, not only to tutors, but Nicole and I talk to students as well about that. We do workshops on soft skills, so we can let the whole college, anybody that wants to come, they can come and join a workshop and learn more about that. Even the high school students, the early college students, the CCP students, they don't necessarily know how to be a college student quite yet. Some of the things that it takes, especially the soft skills. So we also provide workshops on that as well. We have a resourcefulness workshop that we do. So they're aware of all the different resources the college has. And also that we provide, as I mentioned, soft skill workshops for everyone, but it's specifically as well for the early college students.
I will also say one of the things we're really focusing on now is just really making it individual. There's some times where, a student is just not performing well in a class and they don't even know why. It's like, I don't understand why I'm doing this. Like, I know how to, take notes. I know how to read my book. I'm doing my homework. So, it's just working with students to understand, what the material is, the ways they can learn best, and the ways that they can best practice it, because it's going to be different for everybody. So, I think our tutors are really, really good at making things individual to that person and having them understand how they can then flip the material on their own to use it that way.
So of course, when COVID kind of came in and made us all pivot and find unique and new ways to communicate with our students, we all offered some virtual opportunities, even with advising and registering students. How will virtual tutoring continue to evolve for you guys? And are you finding that there's equal amounts of success with virtual tutoring?
So I would say when COVID first happened, no, like it was very slow. Students, they always say, well, in person is best, but I think just because there's so many students with different schedules who have jobs and these busy lives, they really started to take advantage of it and they've enjoyed it. Now that we have been able to, find and we're going to continue to try to improve the experience for students with virtual tutoring, but we've invested in some resources for our tutors so that they have a writing device and they can use the whiteboard much I guess cleaner. There's different ways that they can make sure that they're getting the information to the students after the session for reference. It's starting to become a lot more popular. Students, I think once they try it, they see, oh, okay, it's not that bad. It really is interactive. I really can get things done, and they're very satisfied.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear because, obviously we've had students who don't live in the New Bern area or even regionally close. We have, long distance learners and things like that. So certainly it applies to them. But, also I think we found out that people with busy schedules are non-traditional students who are raising families and working, and it's just hard for them to get away from the kids in the house and come in for tutoring. But if they can get some quality virtual tutoring, it's a great option for them too.
Oh, we also extended our hours, so we have online tutors over the weekend, during the evening time. So we're trying to meet the needs of all of our students any way we can. And even if they want to request a time that's outside of our normal business hours, we try to accommodate them any way we can. And that's the nice thing about being virtual, that even some of our tutors can do their session at home rather than being in here presently. So, and we have some tutors that are actually out of state working for us that graduated from here, moved on to NC State, and one in Tennessee, that are still working for us, that are still doing the tutoring, and it's been increasingly growing. It's been a very good opportunity for students and staff as well.
Yeah, that is awesome. We were talking before we started recording. We were talking about a student that had a lot of success doing the virtual tutoring with a math class, and that person lived thousands of miles from here. So it has become highly effective, and that is awesome to hear. So let me ask you this question. So what are some of the obstacles that you see why students are hesitant to take advantage, when they are referred to you guys, whether it's their instructors that refer or whether it's here in the advising department we refer? What are some of the obstacles that you see for students that you would like to tell, those who may be listening to, hey, look, we get it. We understand your reservation or your hesitancy, but can you speak to that?
One of the biggest ones is time. I mean, time and schedule. They don't know necessarily that we can be a little bit more flexible, that we don't just, aren't in just the 9 to 5 kind of range, that they, that even though it might be an investment, you're taking an hour out of your day, it's geared to save you time overall. Because if you're working with somebody, you're talking through your ideas, you're making headway, you're stronger for it, and it's going to take you less time to complete the work independently when you are doing it. You know, just that kind of reinforced practice, and just having, you know, knowing if you're on the right track really does a lot. So I'm always like, yes, it costs you time up front, but it's intended to save you time later.
Another obstacle we sometimes have to try to overcome is with younger students that are still in the high school, with motivation, getting them to want to come to tutoring and getting them to want to care about their classes and subjects. Because to them, they don't realize how important it is quite yet, that their college grade, they're dropping a class, how it can really affect them in the long run. And so that's been a challenge that we're really trying to overcome and work together with the early college here and also the local high schools and CCP students as well.
I can imagine probably, you know, even having students reach out to you earlier. You know, a lot of times a student will reach out like, hey, I'm struggling in this class, and it's 3 or 4 weeks or even a couple of months into the course, and then they reach out for tutoring at that point. It's like trying to encourage people to take advantage of these resources early on, especially if you taking a subject that you're kind of fearful about, like if it's been 10, 12 years for a math class or English class or whatever.
Absolutely. And we do get a handful of students that will come in, they're like, I'm going to be doing this. Tell me what to do right now. And we love it. But you know, it's just even as important as just coming when your classes start and talking to somebody about what your schedule is like and putting together a realistic kind of study plan. And then, you know, they're already familiar, they know somebody over here, and if things start to get a little heavier, they start to think they might be in trouble, they can react faster. You know, we kind of like to map out timeframes. We look at your schedules, and that's why I always tell students, if you know you're going to have 3 tests and a paper due one week, you need to get that paper done early. You need to make sure we're studying like this. Don't wait until that 1 week and then start freaking out. You know?
Right, exactly.
But it's, you know, sometimes though it's perspective. I know, like, as a student, you don't necessarily see it that way, and you're maybe just not as practiced. You know, all of our staff here, Lenny and I, we know, we've seen it, this is what we do, so we can take a different view and like just explain it a different way and make recommendations to help students. I think another thing too, students don't know what to expect when they, you know, for tutoring. They think of it, you know, just kind of in maybe how it used to be in the old days. If you come in here and you see sessions, people are having fun. I mean, they're laughing, they are like sharing resources, we're working on technology. Like, it doesn't look like 2 people just sitting there staring at a book. You know,
Right.
I mean, a lot of people are surprised. They'll be like, what's going on in there? I'll be like, oh, that's a tutoring session. It is?
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, they don't know. Like, it can really be a good time. A lot of times, you know, our tutors and our students, they make good connections. I mean, and it's important to us. We have peer tutors. You know, we have the students that have taken that same class with that same instructor, and you know, they're coming from the same place. And everybody likes
A
to,
couple key,
you know,
couple keys I wanted to hit on there is that, of course, we know this from elementary school to middle school to high school to college, that when learning is fun, you're probably going to benefit, you're going to retain, you're going to be engaged. And it's so, you know, good to hear that you're having fun over there, because when you're having fun and you're learning, it's going to make a big difference, you know, with what your success rate's going to be in the end.
Sure.
So that is totally awesome.
Sure.
yeah.
So what is it that we can do? Tell us what we can do to share with students when we see them over here, to get them over your way. How can we be better partners, collaborators with you as we continue to move forward? And let me just say this, you know, what we do when we get students in is we want to provide support and resources, right? We want them to know that they're not alone. We want them to know that they have a team And when you feel like you've got somebody in your court, someone that has your back, someone that understands, and I think that's why peer tutors are so helpful, is because, you know, a lot of students can relate to students. And they say, oh, we're in the same boat, you know, so they can really connect. But it's just so critical for students to not only know what resources and supports that we have, but to experience them. So is there anything we can do to be better stewards of referring or connecting students with you guys?
I mean, I would just say, just keep it up. I mean, just telling students, we've had a lot of students just get walked over here. They don't need anything, but it's important that they're shown, here's where you come, here's the space, you know, this is what it looks like, and that they can at least walk in the door, because that's the hardest part. You know, I mean, and just understanding that we have done everything we can to not make it difficult for the students. You know, so again, an email, we have referrals through Viso. I mean, you can send the student the information. I think it's probably better if the student, if there's a real concern, that you also like include us on that, so we can kind of make the reach out, because we know sometimes students have the best of intentions, but they never end up making that phone call or sending that email. So, you know, just having us to be able to follow up on it. A big thing for us though is we really want for everyone on campus to understand that tutoring is not just for when somebody is in trouble. You know, tutoring is for everybody. All of, like, we have very, very successful 4.0 students that come in regularly for tutoring, because that's how they maintain that, you know, I mean, so, you know, also there, we are trying to make sure that we can offer something for every single student. And it's not just, you know, for that last minute rush or when you think you might start to be in trouble. It's great to start early, to come in, you know, just to have a study plan, even if you're in here, just using the space to study. We find a lot of the times, you know, the conversations that happen, or tutors will, you know, see somebody and say hi. I mean, it's just, it's very intellectual, and they get into good conversations, or even just questions on, hey, I'm studying this today, you got any pointers? You know, things like that. It's, you know, we try to just offer something for everybody.
Nathan, you got any questions, thoughts, ideas? I know we like to try to keep these around 30 minutes so that we don't exhaust people's time and let them move on to do other things. But you got anything else?
No, this is just great. I'm just thank you all for y'all's service and what y'all do, you know, to help our students. And it's just great to, you know that we have those resources here at the college.
Well, thank you guys. I mean, you know, the referrals of the students, and you definitely, I mean, I'm always like, oh, you got to go over there. Let's go over here and let's talk about your courses, you know. I mean, there's just so much, and I think that the relationship between our departments is fantastic. I mean, and I think the students are better off for it. You know, we know we can call, you guys know you can call us. One thing I did want to add is, you know, we are always looking for peer tutors. So if there are students that are interested in a job on campus, please send them our way. It can be very rewarding for students to actually work here, work on campus. You know, they're reinforcing their own learning. And we've had, I mean, just a lot of good feedback from the students who have left us and moved on to bigger and better things.
You know, and that's a really good point. Thanks, Nicole, for mentioning that. And as far as example, if we're working with students and we think they would make a good peer tutor, is that something that you want us to shoot you an email and say, hey, we got a student, or should we send them on over if they have interest so that they can be self-advocates, or how would you like to receive those types of referrals?
Either way,
Right.
I mean, either way really works. You know, I think it's good if they're really interested for them to come in and seek us. But also, I mean, we ask instructors for referrals quite often. Like, is there a student who you think would be good in this capacity? And when we definitely will contact them and see if they're interested and have the availability. And yeah, so either way really works.
Awesome. And you're right. You know, I think what's unique for Craven Community College is we genuinely attempt to create a culture of family. And when our departments work so closely together, and you know, we have fun together, and people see that. You know, when people come in and say, you guys like each other, you guys have fun when you're working together, And I think that just brings students in, helps them feel like they are part of a family. And I appreciate the culture that you create over there, the culture that you create with our department. And it's just awesome. And I thank both of you and all your staff for what you do.
Thank you.
We appreciate you as well, both of you and your department. You guys do a
All right,
wonderful job.
awesome. Well, listen, have a great 4th of July 4-day holiday and any vacations that you got coming on. And we look forward to continue to work with you as the summer semester finishes up and as we begin the fall semester.
Yes, we're really excited. We just can't wait. We can't wait for fall and, just to have a lot more buzz on campus.
That's right. A little bit more back to normal.
Yeah,
So thank you so much, guys.
thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.